could get 10, 11, 12 hours of sleep and I still feel like my battery isn't at 100%. Hi everyone, it's Sarah. First I want to say thank you so much for all your kindness on my video talking about my symptoms. It was so sweet and I hope that everyone's staying safe. Since that helped some people, I decided to sort of film day to day what my symptoms are because this is such an evolving virus and no one really knows what it means to be mildly symptomatic or asymptomatic. I feel like it varies a lot depending on the person, and the three main symptoms that I felt like stayed throughout these next 3 days were shortness of breath, fatigue, body aches, and headaches. A lot of headaches, which is interesting because you don't really hear that as much. So yeah, I hope that me filming how I feel for the next few days until this is over helps people realize if they might be mildly symptomatic or asymptomatic, and if they should get tested or should quarantine. So and stay safe. It's been about a week since I started showing symptoms of COVID, and just an update on how I'm feeling today. One big thing is I had a huge headache yesterday, and I get migraines, so it might have been that, but I had a massive headache yesterday and it kind of moved a little bit into today. Still have shortness of breath. It seems like it's getting a little better, at least from yesterday, but it's still definitely there. Or I have to take deep breaths when I talk for a while or something like that. I'm also feeling a good amount of fatigue today. I just kind of want to stay in my bed and not leave. Thank gosh for streaming. I've been sneezing and coughing more than usual today, so that's another symptoms. I'll see you in the next update. My mom and I were watching the news and we saw that there's this great thing happening in New York called the Survivor Corps. And I didn't hear that much about it. We just saw the special on the news. But it's basically where if you've gotten over COVID, if you now have the antibodies, they're doing this thing where you can give blood plasma to see if they can create a vaccine from it. So far I've only heard of one in New York, so if you've heard of other ones in New Jersey where I live, please let me know because I would love to help out. And for anyone else who has contracted COVID and gotten over it, survived it, look into it. Look into Survivor Corps. Let me know if you've been a part of it, and I would love to know how to help out once this is all over. So, day 8 or 9, just today's update, I feel better than I did yesterday. It's an interesting virus in the fact that, do you hear my Animal Crossing? This has been keeping me sane today. It's an interesting virus in the fact that I feel like it's very random in the days I feel better and the days I don't. So, like if I'm talking a lot, now I'm feeling more short of breath because I'm talking a lot. Sometimes it happens where I feel like I can't catch my breath when I'm just laying down, which is the scariest part. But sometimes I'm fine. But it feels like I have to consciously think about taking a breath, or else I feel like I'm holding my breath. I feel like that's the best way to describe it. One symptom that I notice is better today and is gradually getting better, so maybe I'm coming out of that phase, is the lack of taste. I don't know how much truth this holds, but for my body, I feel like I can taste certain tastes better than others. As time progresses, I feel like I can taste sweet things better than I can taste savory things. So I don't know if that's just a random thing or if that's my taste slowly coming back. Sometimes that getting worse was the headaches. Usually when I get a headache it turns into a migraine, which sucks, and then all I can do in general is just lay in bed. So I had a migraine yesterday where I couldn't do anything. And I took my migraine medicine, but it was hard because my migraine medicine has naproxen in it, and I read somewhere that was one of the medicines that aren't good for COVID patients. But I think the WHO retracted that statement. So I started taking it, and I'm monitoring myself closely to see if that does change. With COVID, I've been a lot more fatigued lately, just in general, where I could sleep for 8, 9, 10 hours at night, and then I'm exhausted by 3, 4, and then I take a 2-hour nap. So that's been getting worse, I would say, like the fatigue, but I could deal with that. The main thing that I'm hoping doesn't show up is the fever, because that is the one thing that I haven't had consistently. I had a little bit of a high fever one day. I get chills and feel feverish randomly, and then it goes away. But it's interesting how it can literally change on like a dime. Like, I could be feeling fine 1 hour, and the next hour I'm lying in bed. So that's what's scary about this, is that I don't know what symptoms are gonna get worse, what symptoms are gonna get better, or anything. We think that I had it for a week before I actually got up and got tested. So for that week, we didn't know that I had COVID. That is, I feel like, one of the biggest issues is people who are asymptomatic, mildly symptomatic, are walking around with COVID and spreading it, and we don't know it because we don't have the fever, the shortness of breath, the dry cough, or all the other common symptoms. And it's so difficult to get a test. I was lucky to get a test through where I work because I work in healthcare. I'll check in with you tomorrow. So this is day 9. The main symptoms are the headache, shortness of breath a little bit, and fatigue and body aches, and just the general feeling that I'm not charged to 100% in anything, no matter how much I sleep. One thing that I've been realizing with my symptoms is that it gets worse at night. Lately it's been around 4 p.m., 3, 4, 5 p.m., that range. My symptoms start getting worse significantly, meaning they're still mild, but meaning shortness of breath. I feel more fatigued, my body aches more, and I get more headaches. So those are the 3 main things that I feel like are the symptoms that are showing at nighttime. I could be okay during the day, considering, and even into the afternoon. But then at that 3, 4, 5 p.m. mark, it starts to get difficult. I always get a headache, and I've talked to other people who have had, one other person who has had a mild case of COVID like I have, and she said that she always got intense headaches, and that was one of her main symptoms. So that's something I feel like isn't talked about as much for the more severe cases. I have no idea, but am I guessing? I think it's because those people have other such severe symptoms. My symptoms are mild. I feel like the headaches are more prevalent, and they take precedent as one of the main symptoms for me as a mild case. If I'm not moving and I have a shortness of breath feeling, then that's concerning. But even talking, like I've been recording for a little, like almost 5 minutes, and I feel that sort of shortness of breath come out where I need to pause and take a deep breath more. One thing that I've also noticed is I have a loss of appetite. I don't know if that's normal, but I rarely eat until like 1 or 2 after waking up at like 8, just because I'm not hungry. And my mom said it might be because of the loss of taste. It's not really appealing, but I'm just not hungry. But I'll check in with you tomorrow.